Hello, my name is Ashley Murphy.
I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to share this message with you, but I thought what better way to do it as I am tackling my duties throughout the day. I had been putting off to record this video since last week as I was thinking about my day today and honestly what my days have been like this week, because it's already Thursday and I don't have a video filmed for you. I've already been on my bike ride. I was like, okay, when I got back from my bike ride, cooling down and everything, I was like, all right, well, I've got to get ready for the day. Like, I've got to get my hair done, I've got to get my makeup done and what have you to be able to share this message. And then I was like,
Ashley, are you kidding me?
bring your people with you along your everyday journey. And right now, this is my journey. I'm folding clothes. We've had a long week this week with the tropical storm Gordon that blew in yesterday. It literally rained here
All day yesterday.
so I was so excited to get on my bike and ride. I basically, in my driveway, rode in circles.
In the sunshine. I needed sunshine.
My brain needed it. Okay, so really, here's what I have for you today as I'm getting my job done. I hope maybe that you're getting your job done. A couple weeks ago, I was attending the back to school night for parents at my child's school. Now keep in mind, I have one child who's already gone through the school system already. But as we were there, the speaker, which was the high school principal, I don't have hangers.
I don't have fingers.
Okay, the high school principal was talking about authority. It got me to thinking about the lack of authority in our society. He emphasized on the fact of us really talking to our kids at home about authority, because as you can imagine, this day and time, we lack authority not just in the schools. We lack authority everywhere. We lack authority even as adults. We don't like authority over our life. We want to be in control. We want to be the self-sufficient, in control person, and we don't want to listen to who's in charge. Authority is in our homes, in our churches, local law enforcement, our government. It's not just in the schools and it's not just in our homes. All of these play a vital role in society. When we recognize this as a major value in our life, we can see and experience in victory in our homes, celebrate in victory whenever we recognize that someone is walking in obedience of the authority. Even for you, whenever you recognize this victory over authority. Do you think authority is valuable in our society? Your voice of influence matters. We can't wait for someone else to create an atmosphere of authority. The foundation of authority is in the Bible, and you can read in Romans 13, 1-7. And so that just gets me to thinking about whenever we accept or acknowledge or we understand that authority starts clearly from God. It says in the Bible. Let's start over, Ashley. It gets me to thinking about why people get so confused about authority and why in the school systems we can't talk about God and we can't pray. So many people are non-believers this day and time. So you think about the different types of authority, whether it's in our home or in our schools or in our church or law enforcement or government. Okay, so you think, well,
Would authority be considered a walk in obedience?
I mean, naturally, I was raised in a Christian home and I was taught to respect authority, but I also became a believer in my teen years, and that didn't mean just because I became a believer that I was perfect or that I didn't have to live in authority measures. I do. I mean, like, I still have to read my Bible. I still pray. I have to still seek His guidance and His will for my life. And so whenever we understand those types of things, then it kind of puts in perspective a little bit better for us.
Did your parents teach you to respect authority when you were growing up?
If you have the argument of, okay, well, law enforcement is the authority over keeping the roadways safe or keeping us safe from the criminals and what have you, and you say that they're walking in, like I might would proclaim, okay, well, they're walking in obedience to be in law enforcement, then you may have someone else, and that someone else may be you, to say, well, not every law enforcement officer is a believer. Not every law enforcement walks in obedience. And you're right, that's true. That can be in our homes, that can be in our churches, and in the government. You can have people who are non-believers, but they're in a position of authority. We have to first lead ourselves. We have to start with ourselves, and when we are leading ourselves and we are walking with Christ in a daily relationship with Him, and we respect and we walk in obedience ourselves, and we are acknowledging the authority around us. Them being a believer or a non-believer is not up to us. It is up to them in their relationship with Christ. It's not left up to us. We still have to recognize it, regardless of how mature we may be in our faith. People are in different areas on their spiritual journey. You've got the babies, you've got little high steppers, you've got mature, and it doesn't even go with age. You can have two 50-year-old men, and one could be more spiritually mature than the other. And that's not to say a person's better than the other, because that's not when you're walking with Christ and walking in obedience. That's not. If that bothers you that you're 50 and there's another 50-year-old and he's more spiritually mature, then that's just you. I'm sorry, but I'm being truthful here. That's your immaturity in faith. It's okay to be that way. Accept it among yourself and find ways that you can grow in Christ.
It is so easy to start talking about one topic and end up on a completely different roadmap of trying to cover the topic to make your point clearer. So I just wanted to sum this up for you. In my dealings with going back to school night for the parents and stuff, I realized even after I've had one child go through the school system, that was the first time I had someone emphasize how important it was to recognize at home for our children the lack of authority recognition. In other words, he was emphasizing for us to stress for our children leave home every day to respect authority, because it's just so uncommon this day and time.
Do you view authority lacking in the school systems?
So I hope in some kind of way that this ties up for you to understand and will help you on your spiritual journey to grow and recognize the authority in our society and how valuable it is, and the true meaning that we have to start with ourselves, lead ourselves well before we are ever going to respect authority. And how this is done is by the foundation of the Bible, the teaching of the Bible. And if we are not in line with understanding and have a relationship with Christ, then our society will continue to lack authority.
Oh, hey there. If I was going to be recording in a setup scene, this is where it would have taken place. Here in my chair of what my kids call the therapy chair. In all seriousness, this is what it would look like. This is what it would look like if I would have not stopped in my day while I was doing my daily routine of getting, not necessarily daily. Let me start over. Cut. Okay, really, this is what it would have looked like if gotten ready earlier, did all my makeup and stuff, but instead I chose to incorporate the fact of me doing my daily chore. I keep saying daily, it's not daily. My duties for my family, okay? Just wanted to show you if I would have sat up, had my face and stuff put together. This is what it would have consisted of. And this is what it would look like if your head was still in the frame. I hope that you think over the word authority. And to clarify, no, I do not do laundry every single day. I would, however, like to know in the comments below. Let's start over. I would, that was probably weird looking. Why am I having such a hard time doing this? Okay. Please share with me in the comments below your thoughts about authority. Did this resonate with you? Have you had thoughts about authority before? I would love to hear your input on how this video touched your life and what you think about the word authority. Do you do laundry every day? Are you celebrating the respect of authority in your home? Who have you cheered for that you know respects authority?
I'm not sure what that is in the corner of my eye. That's horrible. I apologize. You had to look at that in this whole last clip of this video.
Do you think authority lacks across the board in our society, period?
Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established.
Romans 13:1.